Hola y buenos días. Yo soy el señor Morris. Soy el maestro de español. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Today, we'll review the meals that we eat every day and the food groups. And then we'll talk about the names of some specific foods, like we did last time. Then we'll talk about what foods you might want to eat for each meal. Maybe we'll even look at the CD-ROM if we have time to try to do some review from that. But let's go ahead and get started, as we always do, with our opening song. Canten conmigo. Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo están ustedes? ¿Cómo se sienten? Yo me siento bien. Muy bien cantado. Well, I tell you what, let's start by reviewing the meals of the day and the order in which they're eaten. Here we go, and you should all remember this. Primero comemos el desayuno. Primero comemos el desayuno. And primero, we've talked about the ordinal numbers quite a bit. You remember that means first. And el desayuno might be what we would call like breakfast. Breakfast, yeah, that first meal of the day. Okay, and you can see what this guy's having for his meal. Okay. After that, segundo, comemos el almuerzo. Segundo, comemos el almuerzo. And almuerzo would be equivalent to a mid-morning type snack. And this guy, you can see he's having some milk and a sandwich and some salad or vegetables there. That's a pretty good meal. After that, tercero, comemos la comida. Tercero, comemos la comida. And la comida is a big meal. The whole family gets together. It's eaten during the middle of the day. Right. And they eat all sorts of things, all sorts of good things for la comida. Cuarto, comemos la merienda. Cuarto, comemos la merienda. And comemos, that means we eat, right? And if you wanted to say I eat, you'd say como. Yeah, como la merienda. But since I'm saying we eat, we say comemos la merienda. And la merienda is an afternoon snack. It's generally a pretty light sort of thing that you don't eat anything real heavy. Just kind of to tide you over until quinto, cuando comemos la cena. And you can see again, this is a meal that the whole family eats together. As opposed to la comida, this one is eaten late at night. Okay? Now, last class, we looked at certain foods and talked about which of the food groups they belong to, right? Well, today, we're going to think about which of the meals we are going to eat each of the foods at. For example, I may ask you, ¿qué vas a desayunar? Okay? ¿Qué vas, what, vas, are you going a desayunar? Now, when I ask you this, I'm asking about your desayuno. Okay, you can see desayuno and desayunar. So when I ask you, I'm asking about your desayuno, I say, ¿qué vas a desayunar? Well, let's look at our food groups over here and see. Yeah, what do you think you will eat for breakfast? Let's see. I tell you what I generally have. I may have some cereal, maybe hojuelas de maíz. I might have some leche on them. And sometimes I have a plátano or a banana on my cereal. I might have some toast or something else. So that's what I might have for my almuerzo. ¿Qué vas a almorzar? Now, the second question, ¿qué vas a almorzar? There you go. That comes from el almuerzo. And I said this is a mid-morning snack, so it's not going to be anything real heavy. Okay? ¿Qué vas a almorzar? Let's see. you'll probably want to have something kind of light. Maybe some fruit, maybe some type of vegetable, and a little bit of bread, maybe some tortillas or some rolls. And you might want to have something to drink. You might even have some cheese. Maybe a cheese sandwich would work for el almuerzo. Now, after almuerzo, someone might ask you, ¿Qué vas a comer? And comer comes from the word comida, or comida comes from comer, either way. So this is talking about the biggest meal of the day. Okay, in many countries where they speak Spanish, la comida is the biggest meal of the day. And so for that meal, they'll eat pretty heavy stuff. So let's see, for la comida, they might have some pescado. Yeah, they're going to have something to drink. Maybe they'll have leche. They might have some queso. They'll probably have some verduras. They might have broccoli. They might have zanahoria y lechuga. They might have a ensalada. They might have apio, which is the celery. Okay? They'll probably have some tortillas or some type of bread or roll with their comida. And quite often they'll have some frutas. For dessert, they might have piña or manzana or the naranja. That's for the comida. Then, after that, someone might ask you, ¿Qué vas a merendar? And this comes from the merienda. The merienda. Now, usually we'll have something light. Okay? For la merienda, you might have some pan or tortillas with some queso. You might just have a piece of fruit, fruta. You might have some leche, something to drink, or maybe even some juice to drink. Okay, that's for the merienda. Then the last meal is, ¿Qué vas a cenar? ¿Qué vas a cenar? And you can see cenar comes from the word cena. Okay, now this meal is eaten pretty late at night in some places. Yeah, and it's a big meal again. So you'll find that they'll probably have something from the carne y frijoles group. They might even have a bistec. Okay, they might have frijoles. They'll probably have some leche or queso. I'm sure they'll probably have some verduras. They might have an ensalada, a salad. Some frutas for dessert. And of course, they'll always have some type of pan y cereal to go with their food. Now, you guys notice that as I've been working here with my food pyramid, I've been selecting a lot of foods from here. And you might say, hey, I have that food pyramid. I happen to know there's one more thing up at the top there. And you're right. Up here, we have helado, we have dulces, candy, we have chicle, gum. Well, these things are kind of special snack, and they're pretty good, but you don't want to base your meals on any of these things. That's why they're up at the top. You only eat a little bit of those every day, okay? Now, one of the activities on the CD-ROM is really good at helping us to review all of the things that we're talking about right now. So let's go ahead and have a look at the CD-ROM to see how it goes. When you pull up the grade 5-6 CD-ROM for the units 6 through 10, you'll come to this screen. Here's our friend. He looks like a little cheetah or a leopard or something. Yeah. Okay. Here are the different units that we've been studying. Since right now we're studying this one, let's go ahead and go to la comida.
La comida.
Los alimentos. Okay. So the first screen that we get to here are los alimentos. And remember we talked about alimentos importantes. Well, here you can see that we can click on each of the foods to learn their names. Let's see. Oh, I remember this one. Do you? What's it called?
Una hamburguesa.
Una hamburguesa. Oh, and what are these up here? This is pretty easy.
Frutas.
Yeah. How about if I was going to have some of these? What would they be called?
Frijoles.
Frijoles. Down here you might get some...
Pan.
Yeah. Or you might have some...
Queso.
Yeah, so you can click on those to review the names of those foods, but right now I want to learn about the different meals of the day. Las comidas are the meals. I'm going to click on that and see where it takes me.
Las comidas. Hola, ¿qué comida deseas?
Hola. Hello. ¿Qué comida deseas? What meal do you want? ¿Qué comida deseas? And here are the meals over here. We can choose from el desayuno, el almuerzo, la comida, la merienda, or la cena. Well, let me see. I'm going to go ahead and start off with el desayuno. Let's see. I'm going to tell him el desayuno.
El desayuno. Buenos días. ¿Qué vas a desayunar?
So you see, now he's asking me this question. Buenos días. ¿Qué vas a desayunar? And that was the question that we were just talking about. What are you going to have for breakfast? Well, let's see my choices up here. Una hamburguesa for breakfast. Pescado. Plato. Plato is something we're going to study about in a couple of lessons. That's a plate. Is that what you're going to eat? Leche y cereal. Tenedor. Again, we're going to study that. That's a fork. Is that what you're going to eat for breakfast, a fork? Let me see. Maybe I'll have some fish for breakfast. What do you think?
Pescado. ¿Para el desayuno? Buenos días. ¿Qué vas a desayunar?
Well, I don't think he liked my choice there. Did you see his face? Oh, I guess he doesn't think fish is a very good thing to have for breakfast. How about if I'm going to have a hamburger for breakfast? What do you think he's going to say? Let's see.
Una hamburguesa. ¿Para el desayuno? Buenos días. ¿Qué vas a desayunar?
I guess he doesn't think that's a very good thing to have for breakfast either. How about leche y cereal?
Leche y cereal. Hola, ¿qué comida deseas?
So now he's going to give me the choice again. Hola, ¿qué comida deseas? What meal do you want? Let's see. How about la cena?
La cena. Buenas noches. ¿Qué vas a cenar?
¿Qué vas a cenar? What are you going to have for dinner? Maybe I'll have some leche y cereal. What do you think?
Leche y cereal. ¿Para la cena?
For dinner?
Buenas noches. ¿Qué vas a cenar?
I bet you pescado would be a good thing. Let's see.
Pescado. Hola, ¿qué comida deseas?
Yeah. Well, let's look at the otras preguntas, other questions.
Otras preguntas. Los alimentos.
This will take us back to here. And now the one we were just looking at was las comidas. Once we study this, pon la mesa, you'll be able to go to this section to go ahead and see about what the different parts of the place setting are called. Another good way to review is with this video. Please go over this stuff again with the video now and try to say all of the words before the video does. You should probably be getting pretty good at this by now. Ahora, pongan atención y repitan todos.
Las comidas. Hay 5 comidas. La primera comida se llama el desayuno. La segunda comida se llama el almuerzo. La tercera comida se llama la comida. La cuarta comida se llama la merienda. La quinta comida se llama la cena. Alimentos importantes. Hay 5 grupos de alimentos importantes. Frutas, verduras, pan y cereal, carne y frijoles, productos lácteos,
Muy bien. Let's go ahead and look at our activity sheet for today. It's called Escogiendo Alimentos, which means choosing foods. Let's see here. Nombre. Roberto. Now, the directions say, answer the questions by choosing the foods that fit best with the meal in question. Okay, and now this is kind of a good way to help you review. Remember, desayuno becomes ¿qué vas a desayunar? El almuerzo, ¿qué vas a almorzar? La comida, la merienda, la cena. And then down here in the key, we've got some different foods available for you to choose from. Okay? Now, one of the good things about this is there isn't really a right answer. I mean, you can pretty much eat whatever you want to for any meal, right? Let's see, here's hojuelas de maíz y leche. Okay? So that probably is what I'm going to have for my desayuno. So I'm going to write that up here. Hojuelas de maíz y leche. But that's just what I'm going to have. That doesn't mean that it's the right food or the wrong food for that particular meal. You guys can go ahead and choose whatever you want to for each meal, whatever you want to eat. Today, we reviewed the meals that people eat in Spanish-speaking countries, okay? And we talked about what food you might want to eat for any given meal. Next class, we're going to be looking at selecting foods for a balanced meal. You might want to go ahead and get your activity sheets ready before the class begins next time so that you can all participate along with me here. Pero ¿saben qué? Ya es hora de despedirnos. For our goodbye song today, let's sing one of my favorites, La Bamba. Canten conmigo. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia para ti, para mí, ahí arriba y arriba, ahí arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Help me out now. Bamba, bamba. Do it again. Bamba, bamba. Yo no soy marinero. Yo no soy marinero. Soy capitán. Soy capitán. Soy capitán. Bamba, bamba. Do it again now. Bamba, bamba. A little bit softer. Real soft. A little bit louder. A little bit louder. Real loud now. Good job, guys. I'll see y'all next class. Until then, adios y hasta luego.